Hey everybody, today's devotion is Mark 6, 7 through 15, and that is the Lord's Prayer. So a lot of people will repeat this prayer religiously because it's part of their religion. And there's a big difference between following a religion and then having faith in Christ. A lot of people will kind of elevate like these things, these traditions, and these things. You got to do it every day, and you got to have this, and you got to do that. That's all religion. None of it's really in the Bible saying that you got to do this stuff. I mean, there's certain things, right? But a lot of it we just kind of made up, and I could go on and on and on and on about that. But I would like to take a look at the Lord's Prayer and see what the heart is behind it. So the first part. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You're addressing God as Father because we have that personal relationship with him. You're talking about how he is in his kingdom in heaven and how his name is hallowed. You're basically saying you are holy. You are God. The next part is your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So here we're saying your kingdom through Christ has come to all the nations, and that your will be done on earth just like your will is done in heaven. We're saying, God, we have our own will, we have our own free will, and we have our own wants and needs, and we have our own personal ambitions, and we have greed, we have all these things down here. But we want to elevate your will above our own. We want what you want to happen on earth to be what actually takes place. We don't want what we want truly. What we want is what you want. I know that sounds a little confusing, but we all know that we know what the right thing is to do and what we want to do, and they're not always the same thing. And here we're recognizing, God, even when it's not something I want or think that I want, I still want what your will is to be done. Okay, so the whole beginning part of the prayer is putting God first. Before we ask for anything, before we do anything that's, self-centered or selfish or anything, we've recognized, like, you are Lord, you are God, you are mighty, your kingdom is here. God, we want your will to be done. And then we move into the next part, where we actually do start talking to God. And it's okay to ask God for stuff. I just want to say that right now. It is totally okay. God knows what you need. That doesn't mean you can't talk to him about it. By all means, you should have open conversations with God about anything that's bothering you, about anything that you want in your life, any of your aspirations. And if it doesn't align with his will, it'll get filtered out. Like, it won't happen. So, the next part of the Lord's Prayer. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. So, when we say, give us this day our daily bread, what we're saying is, Lord, please give me the things that I need to get through today. Because we're, one, recognizing that he is able to get us through things that we don't think we can get through, things that we think are too tough, things that we're unsure of. God is able to provide in those situations. We're taking recognition of that. And we're asking for his presence to be in our life, right? When we say daily bread, we don't literally mean that we just want him to give us, bread that's made out of flour and water. We are asking him to participate in our day. And then we move on to trespasses. Now, this doesn't mean literally like the way that we might use it, where someone's going to come onto your land. Where we're saying, hey, that guy came on my land, and I went on his land later. Will you forgive both of us? I forgive him for doing it. We're saying trespasses is almost like a slight against us. So anyone that's done any kind of wrong to us, we're called to forgive, right? That's one of the core things of love that Jesus has taught, forgiveness. So we're saying, Lord, will you please forgive me, because you've told me that I will be measured in the same way that I measure others. So I have forgiven them, and because I've forgiven them and shown them love, will you please forgive me, show me mercy, and show me love? Okay, the last little part of this prayer. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. So the first part of this seems a little odd, because it sounds like God would lead us into temptation. God does not lead you to temptation, right? God doesn't tempt you with things. He doesn't try to get you to sin just to see if you won't do it. That's evil. That's the devil. The devil makes you sin, leads you to temptation to let you sin based off your free will. So what we're really saying here is that God, I know I'm going to face things throughout the day that are going to tempt me. Please give me the strength, the wisdom to resist these. If it's hard, give me the courage to resist these things. I'm saying once again, Lord, be with me, fill me full of your Spirit so that I don't fall to sin throughout my day. And the last part, deliver us from evil. Here again, we're saying, God, be with me throughout my day. There is evil in this world. It's going to affect me. But I know that your promise is that you will be with me and that you will see me through. Now, there's certain times, you got to remember, God will deliver you from evil 100% if you have a life where you're following him and where you're filled with the Spirit. That deliverance comes when you're reunited with Christ. There are Christians that have recently been beheaded, right? So from an earthly perspective, the evil got them. Back in the 1st or 2nd century, Christians were being fed to lions. Nero used them to light his gardens at night. He would burn them like torches. That is incredibly evil. It sounds again like the evil got them. The evil didn't get them. They were delivered. They were delivered back into the heaven. They were returned to Christ. They were reunited with our Maker. This is what we're looking for here. That even though we're going to face evil, we're going to know and trust that God is with us and that we eternally are going to have life with him as a result of that relationship. Guys, if you have any questions, if there's anything you want me to talk about, anything else going on, if you just want to tell me how your day is, put it down in the comments. Hopefully TikTok doesn't take this down. It keeps thinking I'm driving. I have a fully automated Dodge. It has a cruise control feature, so I'm not really driving. I'm just turning this little wheel slightly. So TikTok, please stop taking down my stuff. Have a great day, guys.